All right, 8:40. In studio right now is Pat and Mary Radel. They're the parents of Mark Radel, who's a 10-year-old boy with Down syndrome. He's making his silver screen debut, appearing in 2 Hollywood movies alongside Academy Award-winning actors. And let's start with good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Morning.
So this is really exciting.
Yes.
Sure is.
And so talk about your son and the movies and the actors and all of that.
Oh, well, thanks for having us on, Bill. Really appreciate it. Yeah, so we have 3 boys, and our middle son, Mark, is a person with Down syndrome, like you said. And a few years back, Mary was connected with a talent agency called Down Syndrome and Arts and Media. If you're familiar with the show Glee, there's a woman with Down syndrome on that show.
Yeah.
And this is her talent agent. And so when a movie studio is looking for a performer with Down syndrome around Mark's age, the talent agency will contact us and ask us to go for an audition. And that's what happened here. We got a contact from talent agency, went down to Manhattan. Mark tried out and was cast as a background performer in 2 movies, Demolition.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
So Demolition.
Yep.
Tell us about that movie.
Oh, so Demolition is a movie with Jake Gyllenhaal, Naomi Watts, and Chris Cooper. It premiered a couple of weeks back. And Mark played a young boy with Down syndrome on a merry-go-round. And we were excited. We knew the scene is the climax of the movie.
Yeah.
So we knew that scene would be in the movie, but we didn't know whether Mark would be visible. But he was definitely visible, and there was a great close-up of him with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Mary, what an experience, huh?
It was really exciting. The whole thing with meeting the actors, for Mark, it was just meeting Jake or Chris or Naomi or whoever it was. Yeah. It was just the person. He didn't really understand that they were famous. But for us, we wanted to get their autographs. It was a lot of fun. We got a big kick out of it. And
so it was a whole family experience.
Yes.
And then the other movie is Manhattan Night.
Yes.
And that includes a guy who has a place locally, Adrian Brody, right?
Yes, that's right. Yes,
which is, and so what does he do in this movie?
That one was based on the book Manhattan Nocturne, and Mark's part in this movie is that he's a boy in a doctor's waiting room tying his shoe. So the director just explained the scene to him, and then they went in and he had to try and tie his shoe, and they shot that several times, but that was his scene in that movie.
Now, do you guys have to join the union and the whole 9 yards? I'm assuming.
We were able to get a waiver from the Screen Actors Guild for this, but we did have to set up a special bank account called a Coogan account. So you have to get a special bank account, and he does have a little bit of money in that account, a small amount from his turn as a big screen performer.
That's really, really cool.
Probably
Andrew.
More than I'll have. Probably more than I'll ever have ever.
Yeah, so probably ever, Andrew. Yeah, you work in radio.
Probably more than all of us have combined right now. In our
so obviously, great experience for your son, but really a great lesson to be learned for everybody here.
Absolutely, yeah. Thanks for bringing that up, Bill. That's what was really important to us is promoting Down syndrome awareness. Mary, with a group of other moms and grandmas of people with Down syndrome, formed a group called the 21 Club of Central New York, and they're about promoting awareness of Down syndrome. And so we thought this was a great opportunity for Mark and for our family personally, but also a way to get people with Down syndrome out there so people see them as part of our community and raise awareness about Down syndrome and the capabilities that people with Down syndrome have.
What do you think is this just the beginning? Is this, what do you think?
If more opportunities present themselves, we'll certainly take them because Mark loves doing that and he has a lot of fun with it. And we just see his heart sing when he does that. He loves to perform.
I can totally imagine that, we would all love the opportunity.
Right.
It's really, really cool.
He has a lot of fun.
So what was it like when he saw the movie and got to see there he is?
Right, so we had to do a little backdoor approach. We had to show him a video of it because the movie is R-rated, and so it might be a little
Good
intense.
For you guys.
So we were able to get a little video of it, and of course he had the pictures of himself with Jake Gyllenhaal and Chris Cooper. So he had that experience, and we were able to show him. But he was very excited, yelling, saying, "It's me, it's me!" So of course when he was on the TV news, he was excited about that as well.
And you got to imagine, and I actually have gotten to know your kids over the years from church and stuff, but they're so good with Mark, and they're such proud brothers. What does that mean to have your other boys be so supportive of this?
That was huge, and Luke and John Paul, our other two sons, they've always been Mark's biggest advocates. They stick up for him, they support him. When he has his therapies, they encourage him and help him to develop and grow. And nobody's more excited about this than Mark's brothers.
What do you think is, I don't know how old exactly you guys are, but you're old enough to know what it was like when years ago the kids were separated. And today with inclusion, some people look at it differently, I guess. I think this is a great example. You guys would know full well what inclusion does for your child.
Right.
We work really hard to make sure that Mark is included in all areas of his life and community and any sort of activities he's in, whether it's the school basketball team, in class with his friends. We ask that he not be separated for therapies or extra tutoring. He's in class all day with his friends learning, and I think that makes a big difference to who Mark is. He learns so much from his typical peers that, it's just been a tremendous thing, and they learn so much from him.
Well, that's the other part. I think that your son is a gift to those students, because when we went to school, we didn't have that. And I think that it's very important for other kids, and it certainly helps with society down the road,
That's
No
what
question.
when Mark was born, we didn't know what to expect because there was so much misinformation because
Right.
we had only knew what we knew up until that point.
Yeah,
We didn't
yeah.
know what was possible until we met other families and saw what their kids were doing and that they were doing amazing things, and we had the right to dream.
So the lesson is anything's possible.
That's right.
Pretty awesome.
For sure.
Great story. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. Christine
you.
with an update at 8:47. Good morning, Christine Bolino.